For the sake of simplicity, let us say that my name is Ernst. I am a sentient gas from this small planet in Ursa Major. I know the human mind gets freaked out by anything too unfamiliar, so I'll try and keep things tangible. If all my free-floating particles were to huddle together in one of your recognizable shapes, I would fill the space of a bread bin. In your culture, I know gases are not held in high regard. I've been told that sometimes humans go for days without even acknowledging the oxygen that keeps them alive. In my culture, we call that bad manners. I am amused by your human idiom, spreading oneself too thin, for in my culture, this is a high compliment. I will endeavour to take you through a brief history of our species, covering just over 12 billion years from the early days of the universe to now. Now, to our story, which begins with the birth of the universe. As you can imagine, when over 2 million gaseous life forms are all intertwined and taking part in one conversation, it may help you to imagine the entire population of Scotland sharing a conference call. There does develop a certain pressure to say something valuable. One of our great minds was a noble gas who we will call, for the sake of easy reference, Liz. And she vibrated, and this is what we heard. We are everywhere and everywhen. All time is one instant, all space one point. Gaseous epiphanies are slow in coming, but when they hit home, my God, they're profound. We spent the next 2 billion years dwelling on what Liz had told us. Our understanding of the universe deepened. We were just getting round to wondering whether there might be any other sentient beings in the universe when, by chance, a load of them arrived. It was, we discovered, a party planet, and the gaseous entities on it had not spent even 1 millennia silently contemplating their own meaninglessness and were, as far as we could possibly tell, having a great time all the same. We were keen to learn from them. They floated towards us, resembling a cloud of midges tracking a sweet-smelling hiker across the Southern Highland Way. And when they finally arrived, there was a profound chemical reaction. The leader of the entropic gases was a large, occasionally fluorescent cloud of nitrous oxide who, for comprehension's sake, we shall call Finn. In the weeks that followed, we had a lot of fun playing diffuse and seek and spin the isotope. We asked Finn if he would miss his home planet, and he said no, it was boring there. That was a little awkward because we did not know what boredom was. Finn's particles grew turbulent, what you would call chuckling. He couldn't believe we'd not heard of it. He told us our lives had been, until meeting him, insanely boring. And so there was recrimination among our species. We surrounded Liz, the noble gas, and accused her of having deceived us, because what we thought was deep thinking was actually boredom. After that, we mistrusted anyone who vibrated about things beyond themselves. Any statement that made us stop and look out at the vastness of space in wonder and dread was to be mistrusted. We filled our lives with smaller things. We no longer spoke in one unified conversation. We broke off into groups, took sides, made friends, enemies, fell in and out of the gas equivalent of love, changing colour, emitting light in high and low wavelengths. Liz, the noble gas, and all her noble friends slowly grew inert and eventually dissipated. Finn and the entropic gases had become dominant on our planet, and without asking permission, had started to redecorate. The shape of our planet had been altered, our toxic lakes were drained, and new garish bacteria were introduced to our malignant hillsides. Finn implicated that our emotional attachment to the old radiated landscape was nothing more than, and here another new concept, sentimentality. 1 billion years passed, and just as we were learning to love the new colour scheme, Finn became bored again. This place is so dead, he shuddered, making the shape of a filing cabinet. So Finn decided that we should move to a planet that was spinning chaotically. He made the shape of a blue roller coaster in the sky. And okay, it was fun to spin wildly through the galaxy. Perhaps it will help you to imagine one of your human fairground waltzes. But after a time, 3.5 billion years, we felt a little queasy. By now, Finn, the entropic gas, had become unstable. and was known to skulk across the plains, flashing blue and black in the shape of a beret. He vibrated that we are everywhere and everywhen, gazing off at the vastness of space in wonder and dread. All time is one instant, he shivered, all space one point. We thought this might have been a test of our understanding of the pretentiousness formula, so we all laughed combustibly to let Finn know we got the joke. It was then that he became the shape of a trench coat and said that nobody understood him. It was only then, having been under Finn's influence since near the beginning of the universe, that I realised he was clueless. But by then, it was too late. Over the next billion years, he grew up, came out of himself, occasionally made the shape of a frisbee glowing a verdant pink. Then, one day, Finn vibrated that, now he looked back at it, there had been something kind of kitschy and charming about our funny old green planet with its radiated cliffs and garish coastline. He was sorry he had destroyed it, and he compressed himself apologetically, glowing the colour and shape of a toxic rose. Within 500 million years, we had found somewhere suitable to live, with toxic lakes, radiant hillsides, trees that glowed in the dark. It was a simpler life. We returned to one unified form of communication. Our conversations were banal, nattering about solar wind, lines of orbit, galactic dust, pretty rock formations, making bad jokes. How many atoms of halogen does it take to change a halogen bulb? Finn and I grew closer over the years and finally got together chemically. And now here we are, in the modern day. It seems like just moments ago, the beginning of the known universe. Ah, it all goes by so fast. And so now, as we reach the end of our half-life, we are looking for somewhere quiet to settle down and raise the next generation. And that's when we came across your planet, so young and beautiful, with its oceans and little funny bits of land and that adorable aurora borealis glowing green and red. Those curtains of light are not yet sentient, so it seemed like a good opportunity for us to step in a parental role. It's not really that we're asking your permission, we're just letting you know that we're here already, dear neighbour. You must have worked that out by now, I hope. I'm sure you'll understand we'll have to make a few changes in terms of your planet's overall layout and design. Apologies for any disruption. There is much work to do.
Thank you very much. Cheers.